raise your taxes $4 trillion, massively increasing your regulations. They're going to increase your regulations, maybe more important than the tax cuts. We gave the biggest tax cut in the history of our country, and maybe more importantly, we did regulation cuts, which were also the biggest in the history of our country, whether it be 4 years, 8 years, or in one case more. Shut down your economy, close down manufacturing, send your jobs overseas, destroy our suburbs, and he will destroy our suburbs. So I say to the women of the suburbs, love me, women of the suburbs, love me. I terminated the regulation. Dissolve your borders, terminate religious liberty, outlaw private health care. 180 million people, outlaw.
Hello anh Winnie Trần. Tổng thống đang live ở Pennsylvania đó quý vị, đang cổ động. Còn một ngày nữa thôi em quay cho cả nhà mình xem. Hai Bobby nha.
Biden has vowed to abolish, extinguish, and eradicate American oil, all fracking and natural gas. And, you know, I say this because we're giving it extra little time. This is Pennsylvania. This is a state. It's a wonderful state. I went to school here. I went to college here. And I'll tell you what, and I know it well, a big part of your livelihood, your money, your income, your low taxes is fracking. He spent over a year saying he will not allow fracking. The first time he came into Pennsylvania as the nominee, which was a shock to everybody. Everybody. All Elizabeth, Pocahontas, Warren had to do is leave 2 days early, and it would have been Crazy Bernie instead of Sleepy Joe. I would have had a crazy guy instead of a sleepy guy. But he came in, and after going for 1 year, and she forgot it, she still can't say it. She can't say it. But he said, no, we will ban fracking. We will ban fracking. That's what he said many, many times. Once he got the nomination, he came to Pennsylvania. They said, you're going to have to do something because you have 1 million jobs, and it's a massive part of your wealth. So he walked in, and he went from, we will ban fracking, to, of course,
đó. Ông nói là mang lại hàng triệu job cho Pennsylvania.
You know, I might not have that one in the video today, but you know, he immediately changed, and the fake news, where is Hunter? Where's Hunter? Hunter's in a foreign country, taking in 25 million today. He's at a country that his father just left, picking up about 25 million. No, that's total corruption. But he went out, and he started talking about fracking, and he said, we will absolutely allow you, but not on government land, you know, not in government, and the press never held him.
Đi bỏ phiếu ơi, Phương Phạm ơi, đi bỏ phiếu cho anh Trump đi, cảm ơn tình cha.
Biden's plan to ban fracking is an economic death sentence for Pennsylvania. Biden's energy shutdown will wipe out your jobs, decimate your towns, eliminate your factories, and send your state into a nightmare of crippling poverty. You've been there. You had the best 3 years that you've ever had under President Trump. The best 3 years.
Đấy, ông bảo với ông ấy thì Pennsylvania sẽ có một cái cuộc sống chưa bao giờ tốt hơn như thế. Sẽ có nhiều việc. Còn nếu mà ông cho thì sẽ phải bị shut down, kinh tế suy xuống này rồi. Al았어. Trời ơi, con nhà mẹ gọi rồi.
Is a vote to ban fracking, outlaw mining, explode energy costs, and totally destroy Pennsylvania. You know that, right? It's going to destroy Pennsylvania. And it can happen. It can happen very fast. You take a look at a country. Take a look at Venezuela. Same ideology. And this was unbelievably wealthy, rich country, one of the richest countries. And now they don't have water. They don't have food. They don't have medicine. It's a very sad situation. It can happen here, just much, much bigger, but it can happen here with these maniacs. And, you know, it's one of those things. Joe Biden is a globalist who spent 47 years outsourcing your jobs, opening your borders, and sacrificing American blood and treasure on ridiculous, endless foreign wars. Most of you have never even heard of some of these countries. He shuttered your steel mills. I got them open. I tariffed, very nicely tariffed, dumped steel. They were dumping steel. China was dumping steel all over the place. You ask the heads of your steel companies, you wouldn't have any steel companies right now. Annihilated your coal jobs and supported every disastrous trade deal for a half a century. He was a cheerleader of NAFTA, which was one of the worst trade deals ever made. We have a very good one now, thank you. And China's entry into the World Trade Organization, which lifted China into a great power, great economic power, except they were going to catch us. For 10 years, if you study, China was going to catch us in 2019. Guess what? We were going so far ahead. And frankly, if you have somebody smart, real smart in this position, they'll never catch you. They will never, ever catch you. But if you study the history, you'll see 10 years ago, 2019, they will catch, and they would have. If I didn't come along, they would have caught you. They would have caught you. And then we had the plague. We built the greatest economy in history. And then we had the plague come in from China, came in. We closed it down. We saved 2 million lives. We saved 2 million lives, and nobody gets it. The projection was 2.2 million modeled out. We saved 2 million lives. We understand the disease, and now we opened it up. And by the way, Pennsylvania, get your state open. Get it open. Terrible. Terrible. Your governor has to open your state, Pennsylvania, has to open your state. Terrible. Get it open. Get it open, Governor. Get it open and count the votes honestly, Governor. Count them honestly. There was a very good pollster last night. Actually, a good one. He has us winning everything, but he was on last night. How's he going to do in Pennsylvania? He was on a show called Sean Hannity. Have you ever heard of it? No, they said, how is he going to do in Pennsylvania? He's going to win Pennsylvania except for the cheating. We figure we have to leave 5% for the cheating that takes care. Can you believe it? For the cheating that takes place in Pennsylvania. And the guy meant it, a very great pollster, but he predicted we'd win the whole election. But the question was, what about Pennsylvania? He said, well, you have to leave 5% for the cheating. And when the Supreme Court gave you an extension, they made a very dangerous situation, and I mean dangerous, physically dangerous, and they made it a very, very bad, they did a very bad thing for this state. They did a very bad thing for this nation. You have to have a date. You can't extend
Hello, sống để yêu thương. Hello, Nguyên Võ ạ.
that could be caused by that extension, and especially when you know what goes on in Philadelphia, and it's been going on for years. So, Governor, open up your state, and please don't cheat, Governor. Please don't cheat. Because we're all watching. We're all watching you, Governor. We have a lot of eyes on the governor and his friends. A couple of other governors out there, too. Pennsylvania lost half of its manufacturing jobs after...
Tổng thống Donald Trump sẽ mang lại rất nhiều job cho Pennsylvania. Ông hứa và ông đang chỉ chiết những cái sự lừa đảo, giả dối và dối trá. Nếu như mà một thế hệ mới của phía bên kia mà lên làm tổng thống thì chúng ta sẽ phải sống trong một cái chế độ hoàn toàn khác.
In 2016, Pennsylvania voted to fire this corrupt political establishment, and you elected an outsider as your president who is finally putting America first. And if I don't sound like a typical Washington politician, it's because I'm not a politician. Probably why I'm here. If I don't always play by the rules of Washington or the Washington establishment, it's because I was elected to fight for you harder than anyone has ever fought. I will tell you that. Now think of everything we've been through. Look, from before I came to office, wait a minute, we'll do that in a second. Well, you are an enthusiastic bunch. You are something. Well, first of all, you're known as a late voting state. That means you're smart. How about all the things? Hashtag, how do I change my vote? Did you see that? After the debate, the number one trend was, how do we change our vote? That was the debate. Did everybody see the debate? Yeah, they want to change their vote. A lot of people want, is this a change the vote state? Not so much, probably. I don't think your governor would let you do that. No, we have some states, they're changing the votes, and it was started with the debates, and then they see the rallies, the biggest rallies. By the way, and I'll say this to the fake news. In the history of our country, there's never been anything like this. There's never been anything like this. And this is at a pretty early part of the day. I wouldn't say it's exactly prime time. You had to see last night in Florida. It was amazing. But think of this. They right from before I even ran. I mean, I announced, maybe before I announced, they said, I hear Trump is, let's go in and do it. But think of it, we were under investigation for 3 years, and it turned out to be a phony hoax, and it was a phony impeachment, and based on the laptop from hell, the impeachment should have never happened. In fact, it should have happened against the other side, because it was the other side that cheated. It was the other side that dealt with Russia. But think of it, and then they say, President Trump, we don't know if we like his personality. President Trump, he's too rough. He's too tough. Let me tell you something. If we didn't have a certain type of personality, and if we didn't fight,
ông ấy vận
we
động
wouldn't be here right
3-4
now.
ngày nào ông mấy nơi á.
We caught them spying on our campaign and trying to take out a duly elected
Đông lắm, tổng thống đi đến đâu cũng đông kinh khủng cả nhà.
And I fought like hell because we don't know any other way. We have to fight. But we caught them, and they turned out to be the people that were corrupt. No collusion. They spent $48 million. They found no collusion. They had 18 angry Democrat prosecutors. I have friends that say there's probably nobody that, and he is one of the smartest, there's probably nobody that he knows that could have withstood that. So we had 18 angry, crooked Democrats. You had Bob Mueller that didn't have a clue. You had all of this stuff. Think of it. We went through that for 2.5, 3 years, and then they say, we don't like the way he acted.
Năm vận động ngày hôm qua, riêng ngày hôm qua cũng 5 vận động luôn á An.
Illegally. They committed treason. They tried to take out a duly elected president, and we caught them.
Yeah, he caught them. Ông ấy nói hôm nay Pennsylvania là cái tỷ lệ vote là ông ấy dẫn đó, nhưng mà bên phía ông Joe vừa rồi đưa ra cái thông tin là do ảnh hưởng của cái cuộc gọi điện phone call đe dọa cái gì á, đổ tại á, để đưa ra cái lý do là cái phiếu nó bị lút á. Vừa có một cái tin mới đó, Pennsylvania đó.
They're the new boss in town, right? Not the media. They just shut up the big tech. And we gave the power to the big tech, right? But now I say it, I look at it, and I say, gee, they're saying tough administration, chaos. They created the chaos. All we did was fight back, and we fought back well, and we caught them, and they're all caught. And now let's see what happens, okay? Let's see what happens. But we caught them. It's treason. They spied on our campaign. Nothing like that's ever happened. That's a bigger event. I would rate Biden second his family and him took millions and millions and millions of dollars from countries that he deals with. He became vice president. He had a son that didn't have a job. He got thrown out of the military. And he went years with no job. And then he signs with Burisma for $183,000 a month. And then he wanted $3 million upfront payment. What's your experience? What do you know about energy? I don't know anything about energy. Oh, that's okay. We'll put you on the board anyway. And then he gets $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife. $3.5 million. Oh, gee, Hunter, what did you do? What did you do? You gave her some big advice, I guess, Hunter, right? And then they
Hôm
go to
qua
China,
11
takes them $1.5
giờ đêm, đúng rồi,
million
hôm qua
to
10
manage,
giờ
which is
30 mới bắt
millions and
đầu.
millions of dollars a
Mới
year.
bắt đầu đến
And then the big one, I guess we
Miami,
had to
Florida.
stop that one because they found the laptop from hell. But the big one was a request to China to pay them $10 million.
Thank you anh Trường Sơn rất là nhiều, không ngủ thức cả đêm để ủng hộ em à.
No services, it's a payoff. Hey, you know what it is? It's a payoff. And the big guy gets 10%. The big guy gets 10%. He's not a big guy, bum. He's not a big guy. He's a little guy. The big guy gets 10%, and there was another one where the big guy gets 50%, right? But he wanted $10 million a year, and the tech and the media will not wait. The media will not. This is actually a very big moment in the history of our country, because we have freedom of the press, but we don't. We have suppression by the press. It's suppression. And if anybody even mentions that story, you don't see that story in the New York Times. You don't see. That is the second biggest scandal in the history of our country. First is that they spied on my campaign. That's the biggest scandal.
Hello anh trai again. Em quay vận động ở Pennsylvania đó anh Tuấn ơi.
They said, oh, and I see it with Twitter trending. I know what trending is better than anybody in the world. I've been trending my whole life. From the day I was born, I've been trending. I know trending, but
Thank you
they
Khoa.
take a story, they make it worse. Boring story, boring stuff. They'll take something and they'll say, number one trending, Trump this.
Trời ơi, đông kinh khủng, dừng người luôn.
What trends is stuff that you don't want to talk about right now. Not having to do with me either, by the way.
Cảm ơn anh Trường Sơn rất là nhiều. Cảm ơn chị Kim Hồng Sơn nha. Cảm ơn chị yêu. Em đi cổ động cho anh Tom. Trời ơi, còn có một ngày nữa thôi. Vận động khoảng độ 2 tiếng đó, đúng rồi An, mà được hơn 1 tiếng rồi, chắc là cũng sắp hết rồi nè.
And I give Laura, I give all the people that are willing to talk about it. No, the Tucker reports have been phenomenal. I give all of those people that are willing to talk about tremendous credit, because people don't have any idea how dangerous this is for our
Tổng thống nói là sẽ sa thải ông Fauci. Hôm nay ông đã đính chính lại rồi quý vị ơi. Sa thải ông Fauci nếu sau bầu cử. Tại vì đưa ra những thông tin sai lệch và đưa ra những cái khuyến cáo mang tính chất đe dọa về coronavirus.
We're putting a corrupt man up for possibly being elected. But here's the story. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to have a tremendous day tomorrow. Tremendous day. And you know, when he announces a speech in Scranton, Pennsylvania, you know, he said, I live in Pennsylvania. I was born in Scranton. He doesn't say that his father left, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I went to college in Pennsylvania, right? But I don't make the biggest deal of it. But I'm a man from Scranton. He left at 9 years old, and that's okay. That's okay. But this guy is a stone cold phony, and honestly, he's not equipped mentally to be your president. He really is. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. I have foreign leaders calling me saying, are they serious? I say, one of them calls and said, I see that you're down a little bit in the poll. I said, can you believe this could happen to me? I'd rather run against somebody that was good or even outstanding But I think what we're going to have is one of the great days. You know, when he comes to Scranton and he gives a speech, you saw he's got the 6 circles. He can't fill them up.
Đúng rồi, trời
So
ơi,
he said,
giọng của
"Can
ông
you
ấy
please
khỏe ơi
call
là
the head
khỏe.
of the press?" He puts the press in.
Giọng khỏe lắm chị
Look at this
Kim.
guy. I don't know how many people here, but there's a lot of people here.
Khi mà họ quay xa mới đông cơ An, họ quay từ trên xuống á,
And it's
nhiều
windy
người
as
lắm.
hell and it's cold and I couldn't care. Look at that flag. Look at that flag, bro. Oh, it's so beautiful. Hey, look, I've never seen a flag blow like that. You know what that means? That means it's windy as hell. That's what it means. Wow, look at that. That's thing sideways. But it's our American flag and we love it, right? Yesterday I was thrilled to be endorsed by the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Can you believe it? Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and it's first time I've ever really liked that paper. And then once you get rid of the first 1 or 2 paragraphs, it was great. He said, you might not like his tone, you might not like the way. And again, I'm a nice guy. I have to fight. Wait, I have to fight. I have to fight to protect me and to protect you. Because once I'm not here, there's
Kim ở
nobody
New
else to
Jersey ạ.
protect you. That I can tell you. But they gave a beautiful, you know, I mean,
Để em xem New
you
Jersey
have to
có được không?
understand, everything's relative. They gave a beautiful, beautiful editorial, and I appreciate it. Oh! Thank you. It's the first
Gió
time,
đúng rồi,
thank
gió
you.
rất là mạnh. Ông bảo gió.
Telling you, you're gonna
Nhưng mà
make
khu
me
em
cry
hôm nay
when
không
I
có
saw
gió, mấy hôm trước cũng gió to lắm.
the president
Gió lớn.
broke down in tears as they screamed, "We love you." I don't know if
Đấy,
President
thời tiết như vậy mà ông ấy đi vận động bầu cử á, một ngày năm khu luôn.
papers endorsed a Republican for president in over a half a century. So, to the people of the Post-Gazette, I would like to thank you. I will forgive you for your first 1 or 2 or 3 paragraphs. Because they said, however, he's done a great job. You know, and I've done a great job. They said, put his personality aside. But I'm telling you, the assault on this office has changed my personality. I can't.
Đúng rồi, như con đại bàng của nước Mỹ luôn
Joe
á.
Biden is bought and paid for by big tech, big
Ông
media,
ấy
and
phong
powerful
xương gió mà
specialists.
ông ấy giỏi.
They own him, they control him, and they know he will always do their bidding. And you know, when he raises $300 billion like last month, I could raise much more than him. I'm president. I could call all these Wall Street guys, most of whom I know. I could call the oil guys. I could call them all. I would blow his numbers apart. Give me 2 hours. I say, send me 10 million. No, we don't need it. How many commercials?
Chị Mai Nguyễn, chị ở gần Pennsylvania, gió. Ôi trời ơi, gió mạnh nhờ. Còn lạnh nữa đấy, thế mà ông ấy đi ghê không? Anh Trường Sơn ở bản quyền dễ hơn ở Việt Nam. Em thuyết minh kịp dịch như vài đoạn nghe ông họ chung thắng chắc khỏe. Ở HK bản quyền. Trời ơi, em đang run này này, em không biết là có bị bản quyền hay không. Em đang like một cái like của ông ấy đó. Em phải tắt cái kiếm tiền đi á. Quý vị vào có thấy quảng cáo không? Em tắt đi rồi. Nếu mà để kiếm tiền chắc là bị bản quyền đó. Em không để. Đây là cái like kênh của ông ấy đó. Thì ông ấy chỉ nói về những cái mà ông mong muốn ông làm cho Pennsylvania. Và ông ấy nói rằng nếu như để cho ông Joe mà lên thì Pennsylvania sẽ bị đe dọa về cái phần oil của Pennsylvania. Đó là cái nguồn tự nhiên và là cái gọi là cái tiềm năng mạnh nhất của tiểu bang Pennsylvania. Và ông ấy nói là đừng để cho Harris và Joe take the oil. Giống như là đừng để cho hai cái người đấy lấy mất cái ngành dầu khí, cái ngành mà phải nói là tiềm năng, tiềm tàng và mạnh nhất của Pennsylvania. Ông ấy có nói về vấn đề đó. Ông nói nhiều lắm nhưng mà em dịch không có kịp đâu. Ông nói nhanh như vậy mà em nghe nhiều câu em không hiểu hết đâu.
The far left Democrats that ruined our public schools, depleted our inner cities, defunded our police, and demeaned your sacred faith and values, they support Joe Biden. And I see where they wanted to fund your great Philadelphia police, and you have great police. They wanted to fund your Philadelphia police. Have you seen that? They actually wanted to fund. wanted to find you, please. I read it this
Rất thích
morning.
Tổng
I don't
thống
know. I
Donald
don't
Trump.
know.
Cảm ơn Thanh Xuân ạ. Chào em gái. Vâng ạ, em cảm ơn like ủng hộ em. Em like cái like này em còn đang run run, rất thích vì làm nhiều việc nhiệt tình. Đúng rồi ạ. Ông bí Tân Tân còn động lòng, còn tham tranh cử. Ông bí đần. Ông bí đần, đúng rồi đấy ạ.
The whole thing in Seattle, we told them we're going in the following morning. That night they raised their hands. They said, well, I think we'll leave now. They took over a big chunk of Seattle. Now, we can't allow this stuff. You look at what's going on in Philadelphia. You look
Yes.
at what's going on
Chị
in
Kim.
and they can't tell the
Yes.
police to stand back. They can't tell that. They stand back and they watch people walk out with washing machines. Guys pushing a washing machine. That's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. And you know, the world watches that. They're all Democrat-run cities and states. New York, Chicago, unfortunately Pennsylvania, and many of them are closed.
Ông ấy cũng nói về cái phần nếu mà ông Trô lên thì ông sẽ defund the police đó quý vị, có nghĩa là sẽ cắt giảm và mang lại cho đất nước Mỹ cái sự an toàn rất là thấp, vì là cắt giảm cảnh sát đó quý vị. Đó là cái bên cái dự kiến kế hoạch của Đảng Dân Chủ.
Sleepy Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe. And by the way, just so you understand, because look, Joe.
No more, đúng rồi ạ. I like the sentence, Biden no more here. Đúng rồi, Trump for here or forever. Đúng rồi chị. Chị Mai Nguyễn. Ông Biden bị mấy người dân.
This election comes down to a simple choice. Do you want to be ruled by the corrupt, selfless political class?
Anh Trâm Cao ơi, em cũng muốn dịch nhưng mà ông nói nhanh lắm. Em không dịch nổi. Em chỉ thỉnh thoảng vớ được câu em nghe được thôi. Nhưng mà đại khái ông nhắc đi nhắc lại thôi. Còn lại vẫn là ông ấy lên, ông nói mang lại chót cho Pennsylvania. Và chỉ trích đảng DC.
If you want your children to be safe, if you want your values to be respected, if you want to be treated with honor, dignity, and respect, then I am asking you to go tomorrow and vote for Trump. Come on.
Đó, ông nói rằng còn một ngày mai nữa thôi, chúng ta hãy vote đi. Hãy vote cho Tổng thống của chúng ta để mang lại thật nhiều việc về cho nước Mỹ, quý vị ơi. Đẩy mạnh nước Mỹ phát triển. Chứ không có shutdown quý vị nha, không có ngồi chùm mền ở nhà.
Pennsylvania, I've done very well. You've had your best years ever. Pennsylvania, it's going to be up to you. It's such a big deal. Big state, everything, and we're doing great in Florida.
Ông nói vậy đó, Pennsylvania có trở thành tốt nhất hay không, đất nước tốt nhất hay không là tùy thuộc vào các bạn. Các bạn hãy chọn để mà bầu cho Tổng thống Donald Trump thì Pennsylvania sẽ trở thành tiểu bang rất là tuyệt vời. Và ông ấy đã done rất là well for Pennsylvania trong suốt 4 năm qua, đã làm được rất nhiều thứ.
We won Ohio by 8 points. They say we're further up than that this time. Because we have everything I talked about, we have done. And more. We've done more than I talked about. Remember what I said 4 years ago. I am your voice, and we will make America great again. That's what we're doing.
Ông nói là hãy nhớ với những cái gì mà ông ấy đã nói 4 năm về trước khi mà ông ấy tranh cử. Ông nói là hãy làm cho đất nước Mỹ hùng mạnh nhất. Và chúng ta lần này cũng vậy, sẽ làm cho đất nước hùng mạnh nhất. Đúng rồi, An dịch thêm nữa đi An ơi, chị nghe được câu được, câu trăng thôi, nhiều câu không nghe được lắm. Muốn con cái của mình có quyền lợi và những giá trị tự do thì phải tôn trọng. Ngày mai hãy đi bầu đi, hãy bầu cho Trump, đúng rồi. Đúng rồi, ông nói cả câu đấy nữa, ông nói nhanh quá cơ, em không có nghe kịp.
How crooked is, by the way, how crooked is Hillary? She deleted 33,000 emails. What's happening with that? But we won. We won. We won like nobody's ever run. Nobody's ever won like we've won. No, the likes of which nobody's ever seen anything like it. And just to get off that subject for a second, we had 2016, we had a campaign. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Can I be honest? There is much more enthusiasm for this campaign than there was 4 years ago. Because 4 years ago I came and I was a successful guy and I said, we're going to do this, we're going to cut your taxes, we're going to get rid of regulations, we're going to rebuild your military, we're going to this and that and that and that. And I did everything and more than everything. We're going to take care of our vets. We just got a 91% approval rating from the vets on the VA. Okay? No, but think of it. We did everything we said we were going to do.
Chúng ta đã làm tất cả những gì mà chúng ta đã lên kế hoạch của chúng ta đã nói trong 4 năm qua. Và chúng ta sẽ làm được nhiều hơn thế nữa và làm tốt hơn thế nữa. Thực ra ông nói quá nhanh đó quý vị. Em không thể nào mà dịch kịp.
But I actually did see a list, Nigel. They said the victory of President Trump was number 1. Brexit was number 2, but it was a distant number 2. And even Nigel agrees with that.
Chị cũng giống An, không dịch được, nghe hiểu thôi chứ dịch ra thành câu khó đấy.
Thank you. It's an honor to have you. It's an honor. They know, Nigel. Brexit, Mr. Brexit. But the level of enthusiasm, and I think you're going to see a great red wave tomorrow.
Nigel, perfect. Nigel.
And I think it's going to blow them away. And we get Florida, and we get Pennsylvania, and we're going to get New Hampshire. We're going to get New Hampshire. Yeah, they say get New York. Can you believe that? See the disadvantage. The disadvantage we have.
Nigel thì đấy đó.
Because I think in certain ways you campaign totally differently. The disadvantage we have with the Electoral College, you automatically lose. Automatically, I don't care if you bring back Abraham Lincoln and George Washington as his running mate. You lose New York, Illinois, and California. Okay, so now you got 3 of the biggest, but you have 3 monster states. That's an automatic loss. So you're starting off, so then you have to run. And so we ran Florida.
New York kìa chị from New York có cái số đại cử tri đoàn rất là lớn. Phải chiến thắng ở New York thì mới khả thi được quý vị.
Then we got Wisconsin and Michigan. We said, whoa. Remember they wouldn't give you the credit? We were 2 points short. We were at 98% of the vote tabulated. 98. And it stayed there for hours. And if I lost every single vote, right, and I still win. So I say, why aren't they calling Pennsylvania? They wouldn't do you the honor. And then they called Wisconsin, great state, and they called Michigan, which hadn't been won in years and years. And they took the glamour. So will you please give yourself the glamour this time? Give yourself the glory, okay?
Đúng rồi, ngày mai sẽ
Red
Wave.
An. Because they're known for very bad things, very, very bad things here. Can you imagine the pollster saying you have to allow 5% in Pennsylvania for cheating? That's a terrible thing to say. Of course, everybody knows it's true. But we have a lot of eyes watching. They never had eyes watching. We got a lot of very powerful eyes watching them. They don't want that to happen to themselves. Together we will defeat the corrupt establishment.
Em mở cái poll cho cả nhà cùng xem nha. Cái poll của ông ấy thì em mở cái này lên cho cả nhà nghe trực tiếp của ông ấy, xong rồi em mở cái poll hiện tại bây giờ cho quý vị xem.
This election is also a choice between a deadly Biden lockdown or a safe vaccine that ends the pandemic and we build the greatest economic country that we've ever had. There'll be nothing like it. We will mass distribute the vaccine. We will mass distribute the vaccine. You know, we've done such a great job with this whole thing. You look at Europe, they're spiking. It's everybody. You know, they're saying, look at the way Germany's doing. Look at the way France is doing.
Đấy, ông bảo. Hãy nhìn châu Âu họ đang làm.
Now Italy, right? You know, Italy had a really rough pandemic. Well, they're all having a lot of problems. You know, I said, well, they don't use those examples anymore. But we have better numbers than all of them. You look at our numbers; they're better, and it's bigger, and And you don't get a lot of the numbers you don't get because, believe it or not, there are some countries that don't give you an honest kick, right? You know that, right? It will quickly eradicate the vaccine, will quickly eradicate the virus, and wipe out the China plague once and for all. And let me tell you, we're rounding the corner anyway, but we have the vaccines coming very shortly. They didn't want to give me the credit. They were saying, no, don't. Oh, they fought me like crazy. Did you see that? They didn't want it to happen before the election, but everybody knows. So we have the vaccines going to be very quickly delivered by our military. Our military is ready to go logistically. Joe Biden is promising to delay the vaccine and turn America into a prison state, locking you in your home. But you're already locked in your home, so I hope that doesn't take away any of your incentive. You're already locked in your home. While letting far-left rioters roam free. Isn't that something, right? You can't go to church. You can't take your family to dinner. But you can let people riot down the middle of your beautiful shopping streets, knocking the hell out of people, burning down your
Chờ em
stores
một
like in
tí để em tìm
Minneapolis,
cái
burning
poll
the hell out
sáng
of the place
nay.
until we
Nó ở
sent
cái
in the
luồng
National
live trực tiếp
Guard
ở cái đoạn
that
nào đây.
ended in 31 minutes. It was amazing when they started getting whacked with tears. I hope they weren't aiming. Did you see Ali Velcher? He went down. Ali, I don't even know who the hell he is. I just know he does a very nice job of shaving his head. This is Ali Velcher. And this is a
Này sợ nó
friendly
không đúng đó
protest,
quý
and
vị.
behind him the entire city is
Tại
burning.
vì nó chỉ là tạm thời thôi.
Berlin, on its worst day, right? This is a friend. You know, they don't report. You know, if you have a bad, like in a Democrat-run city, they don't report it. Nobody even, I don't watch CNN actually, so I don't know about it.
Đó, CNN hỏi nói sai đó quý vị. Tổng thống ông bảo ông không thèm xem ở trên CNN đâu.
From our great National Guard. No, he got hit. He went down. I'm down. I'm down. What a group of people. CNN, how dishonest is CNN?
CNN toàn có đưa tin sai về ông thôi.
NBC is more dishonest than CNN. I think NBC and ABC. I think ABC is terrible. I mean, ABC is absolutely. How about where they interview me and every question is a kill? They're going for the kill. And then they interview Sleepy Joe, and it's like, oh.
Interview Sleepy Joe on CNN thôi. Ông không thèm interview on CNN đâu.
Hey, Sleepy Joe, are you corrupt? Remember, I asked him that question.
Ngủ gật
And
chưa?
Chris Wallace of Fox wouldn't allow it. I said, why? Why? Why won't you? Well, I don't think it's appropriate to ask right now. Chris Wallace, he is not Mike. He will never be
Cái
Mike.
phone sáng
He
nay
tries
em
hard, but
để
he will
nó
not
chạy
be
đâu
Mike.
mất
You know
rồi cái
why?
phone này.
Doesn't have the talent. The Biden lockdown will mean no school, no graduations, no weddings, no Easter, no Thanksgiving, no Christmas, no 4th of July, and basically no future for
Phone này nó chắc là nó không đúng đâu quý vị. Tại sao mà ông Trump dẫn tổng thống nhiều vậy? Tổng thống mới chỉ có lần này thôi.
For lockdowns,
Thổ tả.
layoffs, and misery. You're going to have a miserable time. You know what the fake
Caption
news
phải xuống
doesn't
like nó
know?
mới hiện lên. An ơi,
They're getting
bây
the
giờ
highest
mở nó không
ratings
ra
in the
đâu.
history of television.
Trực tiếp nó không ra, trực tiếp chỉ có trên TV
When
nó
Trump
có
is
caption
gone,
thôi,
they're
trên
all
điện
going
thoại nó không
bankrupt.
có. Mở caption nhưng mà nó không hiện ra. An
They
mở
go,
caption thì
wishing
ngon
they're
quá,
gonna be
chị dịch
calling,
được từ đầu
"We
đến đuôi
want
luôn,
Trump to
khỏi
run
không khỏi
again.
thiếu
We
từ
want
nào.
him to run again."
Tại vì nghe mình không nghe được
The New
hết.
York Times, the failing New York Times, will be out of business. Now, can you imagine? Yeah, 4 more years. It's true, though, right? Can you imagine? Can you imagine these people? They're getting the highest ratings on television. They've taken over for the NFL. People don't like. How about basketball? How about LeBron? I felt badly for LeBron. I felt very badly. Down 71%. And that's for their champion. I didn't watch one shot. I get bored. Back, forth, back, forth. You know why? When they don't respect our country, when they don't respect our flag, nobody wants to watch. Nobody.
Có chiếc caption turn on nhưng mà nó không hiện ra. Nó bảo là không được nhưng mà tí nữa xuống nó lại có này An. Tí nữa xuống xem lại thì nó hiện ra. Chị thử mấy lần rồi. Trực tiếp như này nó không hiện ra nè. Trực tiếp như này chỉ trên TV nó hiện ra thôi. Ở trên điện thoại nó không cho hiện ra. Chị vừa bấm rồi có chữ CC ở trên góc bên phải đó. Nhưng mà nó không ra.
What a crowd. Hey, I have 3 more of these to do. Do you want me to stay with you all day? Yes. So yesterday I did 5. I actually did 6 because I did one early for some people. But I actually did 6. But I did 5. I got home at 2 o'clock in the morning in Miami. I got home 2 o'clock in the morning. And I said, good, what time do we start tomorrow? 8 o'clock, sir. Oh, I said, great, let's go. But you know what it is? I'm doing a run, a great marathon. Everyone, even one thing I'll say, they say, I can't believe, you know, because Sleepy Joe will go out and talk for 10 minutes. He's very agitated, you know. He's so angry. Okay. He's got the shades on now. They should be a little bit larger. The aviators, right? Are they called aviators? He's got the aviators on, and he's so angry. He's just, and he's reading
CNN nó cập nhật trực tiếp cho An, còn những cái trang khác nó không cập nhật, thành ra là không muốn mà vẫn có thể xem.
But it's not really anger, it's agitation. You know what that means, right? That's what happens is when you lose it, you get it happened to all of us someday. But you can't let it happen to your president, I'm sorry. But he was so angry, he was so agitated this morning. The glasses were pouring off, everything, the mask he kept on, off, off. There's nobody around him.
Còn Châu Trà này, An này, North Carolina, Ohio,
a reporter that can't believe he got this good location in the circle.
Maine, Florida, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Michigan, Minnesota.
Now he's got Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga.
Mình đâu có biết tin gì đâu mà theo dõi. Mình đã theo dõi. Chị biết gì đâu, An giỏi lắm đó. An ở Mỹ lâu rồi, nhiều kinh nghiệm nè. Chị mới ở Mỹ có hơn 5-6 năm thôi, chị ít kinh nghiệm lắm. Fox News cũng có. Fox News thì cũng chả khác mấy CNN đâu, thông tin cũng dứa à. Cả nhà thấy không? CNN nó để cái vote electoral vote, cái đại cử tri đoàn của tổng thống có 125 mà trong đó ông Joe là 290 thì quý vị biết rồi đấy. Để xem ở swing state nhá, swing state là những cái state mà nó không có nghiêng về ai, có nghĩa là ai họ thích nghiêng về ai thì họ nghiêng á, chứ không phải là của Dân Chủ hay là Cộng Hòa. Thì đây là ngày 2 tháng 11 năm 2020 này, swing state này có những cái như sau. Ông Joe 52% này, tổng thống có 42 thôi nè. Đây là đúng 10 điểm luôn, sáng nay nó nói nè, tại vì CNN nó nói vậy đó. Còn vào từng chi tiết, từng đài một thì mỗi một đài họ cho một cái tỷ lệ khác nhau, mà toàn tổng thống ít hơn thôi, dở hơi.
Will they vote? Will they stand there for an hour and vote? I think they're going to vote. You got to vote. Who is going to vote? Okay.
Xem Florida là bao nhiêu?
Is there anybody here who's going to
Florida hiện tại tổng thống vẫn thấp hơn ông ấy kìa, nhưng mà Florida vẫn chưa kết thúc, vẫn đang màu bạc, nó phải chuyển sang xanh hoặc là đỏ thì mới là ấy. Florida nha quý vị nha, tổng thống có 46% thôi, lão Joe 49. Để em check tiếp các tiểu bang có cánh nào. Iowa ông Joe 45, tổng thống 47 nha quý vị nha. Iowa tổng thống đã chiếm lợi thế hơn. Tổng thống 47%, ông Joe có 45 thôi. Nhà mình có ai muốn xem của tiểu bang nào thì comment, em sẽ cho quý vị xem. Xem New Jersey, ở trong này có chị ấy này, ở New Jersey này. New Jersey ông Joe dẫn nhiều vậy. New Jersey ông Joe dẫn nhiều lắm cả nhà ơi. Ôi ai gọi cho em này. Điện thoại suốt ngày có người gọi, cái livestream là có người gọi, vì vậy. North Carolina thì hôm qua tổng thống dẫn trước rồi, để xem hôm nay như thế nào. Trời ơi, sao North Carolina hôm qua là tổng thống dẫn trước mà hôm nay ông Joe dẫn trước nè. Ông Joe 50%, tổng thống có 46 này. Bó tay luôn. Xem Pennsylvania hiện tại luôn bây giờ nào. Xem những cái poll này của CNN bựa lắm. Không biết có đúng hay không. Hôm nay mùng 2 là có 44 thôi, 50% mà ông kia. Để em xem thích thật mà nó nói là tổng thống mà bị thua thì là 100% sai này. Bây giờ em sẽ xem thích thật nha, nó thống kê của ngày hôm nay đó. Đúng rồi, thích thật tổng thống dẫn trước, nhưng mà dẫn trước 3 chấm mấy cơ chứ không phải 48, 46 như này đâu. Riêng thích thật thì lại đúng rồi nè. Mấy thống kê đó cũng chỉ là thống kê thôi. Ohio tổng thống Donald Trump dẫn. Đúng rồi đấy, em thấy nhiều. Để em đấy, Ohio. Cái này là update ngày 2 tháng 11 đây này. Ohio những 18 phiếu đại cử tri đoàn. Ohio mà ok là good. Ohio hiện tại đang tỷ số hòa 46-46 đây nè anh Trường Sơn ơi. Đúng rồi, An ở Mỹ từ nhỏ đó anh Trường Sơn, nhưng mà tiếng Việt như vậy là quá giỏi rồi. Nhiều người học từ cấp 1 là tiếng Việt sẽ bị mất.
On nearly every single major foreign policy and national security issue over the past 4 years. Now, he worked with Biden. He worked with him. And he said he was wrong on like everything. And he is. And he is. But you don't have to take my word for it.
An có kênh YouTube đó nhưng mà nó đâu có ấy đâu. Nó có thỉnh thoảng nó mới lên thôi, nó ít lên.
You got two of them. Wow. Usually I bring one. It's a lot cheaper. Roll the video, please. Roll it. Joe Biden. Joe Biden.
Chắc sắp hết rồi, vào coi nốt rồi quý vị. Hết rồi. Trời ơi, chắc em xin xuống đây, em chỉ vào em cho quý vị xem cái đoạn like đấy thôi. Còn cái phần poll này thì đó quý vị thấy đấy. Poll cái kiểu này thì làm sao mà đỡ được. Em thấy họ ghi toàn có không đúng à. Đây là tiểu bang California thì chắc là tổng thống tổng thống ấy rồi. Trời ơi, California tổng thống đi xa ông kia lắm. 58-32 cơ quý vị. Ôi để xem. Chắc hết rồi, em xin xuống đây. An có đó, kênh của An là chính là cái kênh đó là anh Trường Sơn. Anh Hưng Nguyễn ơi, cảm ơn anh trai. Anh trai hôm nay em like cái kiểu này em không nhìn ai có hiện lên thì mới hiện này, còn không em không đọc được nè. Luciana sao em? Em vừa thoát ra rồi để em xem nào. Bây giờ nó còn đang giống như là nó moi móc tổng thống ra đến còn 1 ngày nữa thôi mà moi móc. Bây giờ hết rồi, cho mặt ông Trô lên để đả kích kìa quý vị ơi. Còn nha em. Trời ơi, Michelle. Ôi. Còn nhà em nó quậy, nó nghịch, bối hết ra bàn rồi. Em vừa để em tìm lại cái trang vừa rồi em vào nó ở chỗ nào để em vào lại cho anh coi, nó mất rồi. Của em cái điện thoại này kỳ lắm, không vào lại được, phải xuống để tìm lại. Vâng, em cảm ơn cả nhà nhá. Anh Trường Sơn, An có cái kênh YouTube chính là cái kênh An đang đứng đó, đang ở trong live của em đó. Em cảm ơn cả nhà rất là nhiều, em xin xuống đi ạ, để khi khác em rảnh em lại lên tiếp. Trời ơi, con em nó bày hết ở nhà rồi. Trò chơi đồ chơi nó bôi hết rồi. Cảm ơn cả nhà yêu rất là nhiều nha. Hẹn gặp lại quý vị trong những cái live lần sau. Bye bye cả nhà yêu. Like cái này lần đầu tiên like em còn không biết tắt ở đâu. 알았어, 미세.